Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show.
Being said, we want to say hello, good evening, happy Thursday, and welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on my Friday. This is actually a wonderful, wonderful evening. We're very excited to be here tonight to talk about a lot of different things. As you guys all know, May is National Foster Care Month. So this evening, we welcome to the show adopted advocate Deborah Olivia Farmer. Deborah has written an excellent new book entitled My Journey to Joshua about the adoption process. And it's also Relationship Thursday. So coming up during the 8 o'clock hour of the show this evening, we'll be talking to two gentlemen who have written a book about infidelity. Cheating is at an all-time high now more than ever. We talked about that last night on the show. And with that being said, we're going to talk to them in our relationship discussion. Tonight, our co-host, the amazing Miss Kay Renee, who is always there with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Kay Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. Give her a big round of applause. How are you this evening? Glad to see you. What's going on?
Good evening, Chad. Happy Friday to you. Happy Friday to our audience. Even though it's your Friday, I still have one night to go with my weekly podcast. But the weather, I tell you what a difference 24 hours make. Because as you talked about last night, it was in the high 80s yesterday. It dropped to the 50s. This morning it was in the 60s. And looking at it now, it's overcast and it was been raining, so tomorrow's going to be one of the not so good days of the Memorial Day weekend. We're going to experience a lot of rain here, but that's good because we haven't had a lot of rain this month in May, and the flowers and the grass needs to grow, so it happens. But happy Friday to everyone tonight.
Absolutely. It is Memorial Day weekend 2021. And as you guys all know, last year we were in the midst of a pandemic. We did not celebrate Memorial Day weekend, much like we are accustomed to. And with that being said, this year, now that, people have been vaccinated, things are opening up, things are a little bit more relaxed. People are out and about. And with that being said, it makes me wonder how safe are we really being? Amusement parks are opening back up. Travel is at an all-time high right now. Streets today here in Chicago were packed. Matter of fact, today was the worst day for traffic of this entire weekend. I think it was like a 2-hour drive from downtown Chicago to O'Hare Airport.
Oh my.
And I experienced that a couple of weeks ago. So with that being said, tonight we're going to share some safety tips that everybody needs to keep in mind over this holiday weekend, because here we are, we're back open. Everybody's doing what they want to do, but COVID is still real. And we want to remind everyone to still be careful and do what they need to do.
Amen.
Right.
Amen.
All right. Well, Kay Renee, with that being said, do you want to start off with a news story today?
Oh goodness, I have just been really kind of swept today.
Right.
I know with Memorial Day weekend, and I did see a news story that you mentioned, locally a lot of amusement parks are opening up. I saw a news story earlier that with, we have Great America, which is in the northwest suburbs, I should say, of Gurnee. And they were showing how a lot of different participants, when they come in, they get immediately checked with their temperature, which is nice. It's like an infrared scan, and they're just going along like really like nothing has happened. But I know with folks wanting to go to the amusement parks, going out to the beaches, which here in Chicago you may not want to do that until Saturday perhaps.
Right.
Navy Pier is opening up because I saw a segment yesterday with Good Morning America. Michael Strahan officiated a couple who had been trying to get married not once but twice, and they finally succeeded. It was so nice to see that here, and featuring our city, the rooftop, near Navy Pier. So it's all about Memorial Day weekend. But as you alluded to, gas prices are up. It's like the average is $3. That's average because this time last year it was 196. So
Okay,
now the average
just so you know,
304.
today I put gas in the vehicle, and this was at some place where the gas is cheaper than a normal gas station, and I still paid 3.48 a gallon for
Yep.
that gas today. And then renter cars are at an all-time high. I'm trying to reserve a renter car for a 4-day weekend, and they want almost $400 for a four. Right. It's just really, it's actually a 3-day weekend that I'm doing.
Yeah, because I just turned my rental car back, but I had happened to when I was coming back home, hearing potential customers at the counter wanting to rent the car for the weekend, and they're looking at $1,000.
Right.
I said,
Right.
"Are you got to be kidding me?" But that's
Yeah.
the average. I mean, you hearing there have been transportation segments to even rent a car in Hawaii. It's 400 a day,
Yeah.
not for the total price.
Right.
A day.
Isn't that crazy?
But you know what's happened? A lot of these car rental companies they sold off their fleet during the pandemic, so they're at a deficit. So they
Right.
got to make that money up somehow, right?
Yes.
Airplanes. We talked about flights and talked about the flight attendants being trying to have to muscle up with passengers. Depending upon how you plan your flight, sometimes you may have to bundle up to get a good deal.
Yes.
But the hot spots to go for Memorial Day weekend, they're talking about Maine, Florida, San Francisco. You can get a nice flight to New York.
Yes.
So you just have to just hunt for the best deal. So
Okay.
yes, Memorial Day is opening up, but as you indicated earlier, we still got to be safe, y'all. I mean, it's
Yes.
not COVID is not over. Just because restrictions are easing up, people, y'all think it's over. You still got to wear a mask because even where I was going today, masked up. They will not let you in without a mask. So,
Exactly. You're absolutely right. All right. Well, we are a health and wellness show, and the most important thing is we want to keep you up to date on all the COVID-19 numbers as well as the vaccine numbers. And Illinois public health officials reported today 891 new confirmed or probable coronavirus cases. Unfortunately, we had 42 additional fatalities in the last day, along with more than 63,000 vaccinations administered. So that's not bad. 63,000 people at least received the shot. Newly reported coronavirus cases now bring the state total number of cases to 1,379,279 since the beginning of the pandemic. And the total number of deaths that we've had here in the state of Illinois is now 22,718. And this is all information that has been passed on to us by the Illinois Department of Public Health. All right. So there we go.
wow.
Yes, so we do want to remind everyone to please, please, please do what you need to do. On this show, we encourage you guys as much as possible to wear your mask, sanitize. We'll go through our routine later on today. All right, so Kay Renee, let's start with local news stories. Mayor Lori Lightfoot wants to put into law that liquor stores should close by 10 p.m. to prohibit potential looting, loitering, and other safety issues. And so everybody is up in arms. Local establishments, Black-owned liquor stores in the downtown area. I've heard both sides of this. I've heard it from people who are sick and tired of the problems that happen at liquor stores, but then I've heard from small ma and pop businesses who feel as if they'll suffer from this. What do you feel about this?
I understand both sides, but here's the real deal, especially on the south side of Chicago. Just as much as you can count the number of churches from a mile span, you can count the number of liquor stores. And I can personally tell you, when you see a lot of people loitering around liquor store late at night, it's not always a good thing. So I applaud Lori Lightfoot, our mayor. I understand from the business side, they may be losing business, but it's about a safety issue. You know,
Right.
there's a liquor store less than 4 blocks away from my house, and anytime I go in there, you know, not to purchase liquor, but there's always people loitering, and it's not, you know, that's not a good look.
Right.
And so during the pandemic, those literally at 8 o'clock they shut down. So at least Lori, our Madam Mayor gave some leniency, some latitude to 10 o'clock. So you know, at the end of the day, when people drink, what they do crazy snit. So
Right.
it's best at 10 o'clock have the permanent curfew, and just make sure if you want to get your liquor, make sure you get it for 10 o'clock.
That's what I said. I had this conversation with a good friend earlier today, and we were talking about the fact that just like you get up, go to the grocery store at a certain time, you do things at a certain time. I personally don't have any particular problem with a liquor store closing at 10 p.m. My heart does go out to the small business owners, the mom and pop liquor stores, but for the most part, I'm like you. Out here on the south side, any of these major liquor stores that everybody flock to, it's nothing but foolishness, chaos, craziness. I won't say what corner, but everybody know the famous corner that I look. It's foolishness going on in that corner 24 hours a day. And a lot of that is due to that liquor store and a currency exchange that's across the street from it.
And here's the thing, Art. Unfortunately, though, there are not a lot of black-owned established liquor establishments on the South Side. Let's be real about that too. They're owned by different ethnic backgrounds. They're not black owned.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
There may be a misnomer about that. Because I don't know any. I mean, if I do, I haven't seen. They're not around my neighborhood. Let's put like
Kimbark Beverage Shop in Hyde Park, owned by the Swain family, Jonathan, and you know, I know that family, beautiful. Right. And to me, they are not what I consider a liquor store. I consider them more of an emporium of adult beverages, if you can say it that way. But I'm talking about the liquor stores where you order through the bulletproof glass. Yeah, I got it. They selling everything under the sun in there. It just, I don't know. I'm with her on the 10 o'clock close.
Think about the one store that was in the neighborhood in Calumet Heights, Kenwood Liquors. Right. They were around for many years. Once the pandemic hit, they're not coming back.
No, they are not.
Down.
Yes.
So
and want a lot of money for that property. That property is up for sale, and they want a lot of money for that property because they know that property is a gold mine with that parking lot, the size of the building, all of that. So they know.
Yeah, exactly. So again, I'm like you, Art. I definitely, my heart goes out to the small mom and pop liquor establishments, but 10 p.m. is good enough for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to continue to move on. Mayor Lightfoot is also, again, the center of debate. This time, it's an ongoing debate on whether or not Chicago's Lakeshore Drive should be renamed after John Baptiste DuSable. And it would be millions of dollars to do this name change if this was to happen. So Mayor Lightfoot has now come up with a plan of doing a festival, creating a park named after DuSable, which would be near Lake Michigan. But to rename all of Lakeshore Drive, well, okay, Renee, I see the look on your face. We did get Ida B. Wells, and I'm very happy about that. But I'm gonna let you go ahead because I can see the anger. I don't know. What is that I see in your face? Go ahead.
Well, you know, Ida B. Wells, who I just saw the wonderful documentary that PBS had done, and kudos to them. And also, you know, there's a Dolphin connection because Dan Duster and Michelle Duster, they're the great grandchildren of Ida B. Wells, and they were pretty young. And I was just so proud of the documentary. It's hard for me to say his name, but Mr.
Jean Paul Baptiste, my
Thank
daughter.
you, Jean Paul Baptiste DuSable. Yes, Thank you, big brother.
You're welcome, John.
He is. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here. Chicago would not exist. They could spend millions of dollars in other ways. I just feel it's long overdue. Yes, we have a DuSable museum. We have a DuSable high school. Why not name it after him? I mean, I get it. Heck, they could get that money back in other areas, Three words that come to mind, but we won't go there tonight. This is not the discussion for that.
Yes.
But I truly get it. And Madam Lori, she just, she's always in the in the spotlight with some of the things that she has to endure. But this one, I think they need to give some serious thought.
Yes.
For obvious reasons. As I said, if it wasn't for him, the name Chicago would not come about. And to me, is too little. Is they say better late than never.
Yes.
But I hope they can be a compromise, because I think it does need to happen.
I agree with you. Yes, no, I agree with you. I'm not against renaming Lakeshore Drive, but you've got to realize street signage. It's a lot involved with that. It's not like, okay, today we're going to rename it. Tomorrow, everybody remember what the name is. It's a lot of things that are involved in that. But now here's the deal. I'm not opposed to her doing a dedicated park near Lake Michigan. I think that would absolutely be beautiful. And I'm not opposed to the festival as well either. But I really would like to see, something more like a renaming of, Lakeshore Drive in his honor.
Well, think about this. Bishop Ford, the expressway, is named after a black man.
That's right.
And perhaps Mayor Lightfoot can convene certain private benefactors to get the money paid. How about that, Madam Lori? Because I guarantee you, there'll probably be a few people. Hell, I would give, if I could give my last $100, I would do it as well. So I just feel that if there's a way to get things done, if you really want to get things done.
Right. Candace made a great point. She said, I think doing this while Lightfoot is in office is historic and significant. It's about time. We deserve more than this. I agree. Yeah,
I agree
absolutely
too,
right. Yeah, that was a very poignant comment that she made about this situation. All right, what else do you have in news tonight?
Well, just dropped regarding our favorite. Well, I shouldn't say favorite, because he's a former favorite.
Who?
Now, former idiot in chief.
Oh.
Now he wants a quick tax break. It's like, really? You're about to be indicted on criminal charges,
right? Yeah.
Based upon your taxes, and now you want a quick tax break?
He's trying to do whatever he can to protect his best interest, and that's a true businessman. That's a true businessman. He's trying to do whatever he can. Donald Trump is trying to stay as relevant as possible, and he's doing what another really wealthy person told me to do. I pay people to keep people off of me.
Well, I don't know how that's going for him.
Right.
I mean, since he's left office, Art, he's written a blog, and no one really has seen it or has viewed it or has commented on it. I think he really, his birthday is coming up too. He's a Gemini, and that's obvious, right? The duality.
Them Geminis are big and different. I agree 100%.
Duality.
Yes, absolutely.
What he really needs to do is have a good lawyer, because Rudy Giuliani, we don't know what's going on with him. He needs to find him a good lawyer and really deal with this major issue about his tax problem, because it's not going away. And again, if they're attaching criminal charges against what he's done, especially if they will attach the insurrection that happened on January 6th to him as well. So he really needs to understand that whatever he's done in the 4 years, his legacy has already been written. But, yes. The people that he's paying to help him be relevant, they're not doing so much. They're not doing so good. So
no, not at all. But can you imagine if he would be the first president of the United States to go to jail?
Oh, honey, we would have a
like, really?
It would be sad, but it would be on point, because he deserves to go to jail.
Right.
Yes, he's done a few things while he was in office. But overall, if you had to give him a grade of his overall performance, what grade would you give him? Because I know my grade. But what grade
Oh,
would you give them?
now are we grading on a 1 to 10, or are we grading on an A,
A
B,
through
C,
F.
D, F?
A
Oh,
through
it would
F.
it would be a F minus.
Oh, you did. I would give him a D minus.
Oh, okay. I'd give him an F minus. I would definitely
D
give him an
minus.
F minus.
Because one thing he did do, which is he helped pass the 2018 Farm Bill, which is going to allow for legalization of cannabis to come through. So I will give. That's the only reason why. Give him a
Okay.
D minus.
All right. So I'll upgrade my grade because you did put that extracurricular on there, and that is helping a lot of people
It is.
financially, and it's going to be a good catalyst to keep this economy moving. So
Exactly.
I will take it from an F minus up to an F.
There
Other
you
than
go.
that,
I'm cool with that. I'm cool.
okay.
But as far as overall race relations, trying to bring the country together,
Right.
and I mean, let's be real. He had the opportunity when the virus hit late 2019. He knew about it, did do nothing about it. He even reported on with Bob Woodward. He asked him, nothing. He said, I'm going to just, do what I do. And look what has happened since.
Yes.
So, for those conservatives, I understand what you're saying. But the fact that when our current President Joe Biden, had to write so many executive orders to scratch what former idiot in chief had done for the past 4 years, you gotta wonder. And I'm not a Republican, even though I do have some conservative views, but
Sure.
that party needs a serious band-aid.
Oh,
Because they're
absolutely.
just about to just go
Right.
different directions.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. All right. What else do we have in news?
Let's see. I'm trying to think. I don't. Oh, well, we talked about Chadwick.
Yes,
I'm
we
just so
did.
glad about
Absolutely.
him. I'm trying to think. Is there anything? Memorial Day weekend. I think the fact that's been overcome every news media because everybody's
Well,
like trying to get out.
Well, we want to remind everyone to please be safe this Memorial Day weekend. I did want to share a few safety tips with you guys so that we all do stay safe, enjoy the weekend. Some of the things that we want to talk about is water safety. Believe it or not, there's a shortage of lifeguards. Most of the young people who would be lifeguards, they have a choice of other employment now. Um, a lot of places use foreign students as lifeguards. Absolutely. Matter of fact, a lot of young people come from Ireland and other places, but right now they're not able to travel like that and get the work permits to come here. So there is a shortage of lifeguards. So we do want to remind everyone when children are playing in water, make sure there's always an adult nearby so that the children are well supervised. Always use a buddy system when swimming. You should never swim alone. Always shower before swimming. Believe it or not, that's important. Most people just get in the water, but you should shower before swimming. And make sure children take bathroom breaks regularly when they are swimming, and make sure they wash their hands with soap and water before returning back to the pool. Same way with parents with small infant children with the disposable diapers. The baby done, did his business in the diaper. You know how them diapers blow up and they floating around in the water. That's a lot of bacteria. You have to be very careful. Again, we're coming out of a pandemic, and you still want to keep as much bacteria and things like that down. And also, please consider wearing a life jacket if you do not know how to swim and you do want to get in the water. And let's see. Let's talk about food safety next. Any questions about water safety?
See, I don't. Ever since my when I celebrated my 40th birthday in Aruba, and I was in the ocean, and I disobeyed a lifeguard's instructions: do not get in the ocean early morning. And I said, "Oh, I'll be all right." And I saw a baby shark. I don't touch the pool. I don't touch pool, ocean, nothing. I'm just like, the only water I touch is the bathtub. That's it.
Oh my! So you almost had a baby shark attack.
And here's the funny part. I'm in the shallow water, right? Just praising God. So, oh my goodness, it's a beautiful sunrise, and I feel a bump. And I'm thinking, what the heck is that? And that baby shark looking at me. I looked at it. I said, "Oh hell no!" And no one's on the island but me. I'm up
Oh,
at
hey,
7
look, I'd have
a.m. in
been
the morning.
I'd have been like baby shark, baby shark. I'd have been like, come on, baby shark, come on, live and be adventurous. You survived, didn't you? He didn't bite a chunk out of your, you know what? You said you had a perfect posterior. He didn't bite a chunk out of it, right?
No, because he couldn't reach that. But he saw the
Oh,
ankle and the,
okay.
and
Well,
the thing. And the thing I was worried about, all right, Mama could have been nearby, not just Baby Shark. I'm like, oh heck no, let me get out. Let me
and
get
so
out.
you've not gotten back in a pool of water since then?
And that's been a while.
Wow.
I'll dip my toe in a pool, but that's it. I don't. Mm-mm.
Oh, and I'm so addicted to the pool now that I can't wait to start taking aqua aerobic classes. And I believe it or not, and I can't swim, but now
Neither
I
can
am
I.
very much addicted to the water. I am addicted to water now.
Maybe now that I've overcome that fear of Baby Shark, I might, now that if I get a chance to go in a pool, but not in the ocean. That's something I will just not do because
Wow. Best
after that
exercise
Baby
ever.
Shark. Mm-mm.
Well, as you know, I love the ocean, but the biggest problem is all of that sand after you've been out there.
Yes.
Oh my God. I had sand places that we just don't even need to talk about at this particular point. All right. Next thing we want to remind you guys is about food safety this weekend. For many of you, this will be your first time having a barbecue, having people over. A lot of you have been cooking in your kitchens, used to you and your family eating. But we want to tell everybody to be very safe so that you're not spreading botulism. Wouldn't that be what it is? Food poisoning.
Yeah.
Make sure you're using separate cutting boards and utensils for handling raw meats versus ready to eat things like vegetables and bread. Keep perishable foods cold as long as possible until you're ready to cook them. Use food thermometers to make sure your meat and poultry is cooked thoroughly and it's at the safe minimum temperature or the maximum minimum temperature that it should be for consumption. And always use fresh, clean plates and tongs when serving cooked food. Never reuse the same tongs and plates and things you use from raw stuff and you've not washed it. Always make sure you use good stuff. And 2 hours is the minimum that you really should leave food sitting out. Anything that has mayonnaise, eggs, any salads like that, they should stay cool at all times. And that's how you do that. Okay. Any questions on that?
No, sir. I've got it.
Okay.
And even if you're going to barbecues, hopefully, or for me, if I was invited to a barbecue, it would be very intimate, and I would hope similarly to when before the restrictions have been lifted, you would have bring your own silverware, own plasticware. I think that still needs to continue, so we can keep the cases down of COVID-19.
Absolutely. Well, I'm the type of person, I have my own picnic basket that I take. I have candles in there. I have cutlery. I have, my bottle opener, whatever I need. Even if I'm coming to your house to something, I still bring that with me. I'm very much still bringing my own chair to be able to sit in. And I even bring a little tarp to put down on the ground to, fight off the bugs, the ants, things like that. So, yeah, you need to be well prepared. Last year, during the holiday weekend, this was a practice and rule I had before the pandemic of this is how I did things anyway. So, absolutely, makes good sense. All right, the next thing we want to talk to you guys is about sun protection and making sure you are protecting your skin. Even though we are having some really weird weather here in Chicago, in other places right now, the weather is going to be great. Make sure you guys are using a sunscreen protection with a factor of at least 15 or higher. They even have sunscreen now that is at a 100% factor, and you're still able to get a tan, but that's how strong that protection is in that. And you want it to protect you from ultraviolet, UV, and, making sure that you are not, being directly hit by the sun.
Right.
Cover your head with a hat or a shield if you could. try to wear long sleeve pants and shirts to help protect your skin from the sun, and always wear sunglasses to protect your eyes.
Absolutely.
All right.
Great advice.
Thank you. Very good. I just want to make sure everybody is safe this holiday weekend. So, Kay Renee, what is this that I read about? A lady has 7 husbands. Did you see that I sent to you?
No.
Oh, I sent it to you earlier. I didn't know if you saw it or not, but there's a lady.
You sent me the story about meeting online. That's what I got. I never got the 7 husbands.
Oh, I apologize.
No worries.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that when we come back from the holiday break. But it's a lady who has 7 husbands. And she talks about how they all live in harmony. And there's no issues, no problems, that she actually picks which husband she wants to be romantically involved with. They all get along and they live in the same house. And really, I was watching the video. Each one of the husbands looked like they out of it anyway. But she has 7 husbands. And she actually is a spiritual priestess. And so these guys, yep, she has 7 husbands. Would you ever want 7 husbands? Oh, I forgot you the queen of happily divorced. I forgot. My bad.
No. It's hard to deal with 1, let alone 7. I mean, when you first said that, I'm thinking, oh, Elizabeth Taylor is reconstituted. She's been reincarnated.
No, this woman is married to all 7 at one time. It's not like.
Wait a minute. Isn't bigamy illegal?
Well, she's in a. I'll have to send you the story, and we'll talk about it when we come back from break. Because remember, in June we're talking about weird scenarios and situations. So let's table that until we come back for the first week of June, and we'll talk about it there. Because otherwise, yes, and it's not in the United States. This is over.
Well, there you go. Well, see that explains everything. All right, because it wouldn't be happening. And I mean, honestly, and obviously, she's not African American, because I know God doggone well a sister having 7 husbands up in here in the United States, that will never happen.
Well, now you don't think so, but look at men who have multiple wives.
Let me say this: they would have to be of different races. I don't think 7 black men would be married to 1 black woman. Now we have to table that question to our guests later on to see if that happened, because I don't think any black man would be dealing with 1 woman and living with 6 other black men in the same house.
Right. Well, she has 7 husbands and said that they all get along. They appreciate each other's company. And really the story is weird. So we'll save it for June, because like I said, every story in June is all about just weird occurrences and situations. Because and she said everybody's happy, they get along. But if you look at the video, each one of the guys look like deers in headlights in the video. So I'll even try to get the video and play it on the show when we come back from break. But yeah, she has 7 husbands.
Wow.
I know.
I'm just no.
Okay. All right.
I could write about that in my book for an erotic, DDW Part 2. That would be a great story. But to act upon that real life, they say be careful what you ask for.
Because I'm trying to understand, like, how would you know which husband that you would want to go be with that evening? And she said none of them are jealous and upset of the other. And I just, as you said, no, that couldn't be a sister girl. That couldn't be a sister girl. No, right. She's got to be an oddity. I mean, you know what I'm saying? To the 10th degree. Because no, a sister girl ain't gonna have that. And then, as you said, these men are not gonna have it. They're gonna be like, what the heck? Right. So yes.
Especially brothers. Oh no. They have too much machismo. No.
All right. Well, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on my Friday. We're kicking off Memorial Day weekend 2021. This is our beginning of summer. This is the kickoff of us coming out of the COVID restrictions. And so tonight we have a really great show planned for your viewing and listening pleasure. Our co-host, the amazing young lady in the box next to me, is Miss K. Renee of Karen's Nuggets of Knowledge. And K. Renee, you was just saying you coming up on your 1-year anniversary of co-hosting with me on the show.
Yes!
Isn't that incredible?
I could not believe it. I had sent the video to a former colleague because his birthday was recently. I happened to see on his feed. I said, "Oh, I sent this video," and he loved it. And I'm looking at him like, "Wow." I cannot believe in June 8th it'll be 1 year with you.
Wow. Well, I'll have to give you a 25-cent pay raise because that's not as big of a budget as we have on this show right now. But I promise you, I'll put an extra 25 cents in your check, and I promise you, I will buy some cheese to put on whatever you want at whatever restaurant we're going to celebrate. I'll pay the upcharge for the cheese.
It should be whoever I want, not whatever I want. How about that? I want some cheese on someone else.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that later.
Now you said that the times you say you want Raquel to come out, so that's Raquel coming out right there.
All right. Well, let's move on to our first guest this evening. Our first guest, I just really appreciate her. She's a communication maven who has penned a memoir about finding her son through foster to adoption process. And she is on a mission to help as many families as possible. I've known Deborah for many, many years. She's worked in news, media. She has a wonderful communication company that handles clients globally. And just to know that she's found so much happiness as a mom. I remember seeing her son from being young to now seeing him being what I consider a mini grown man. Mm-hmm. It just does my heart good. And I'm excited to welcome her tonight. She's been on a tour all month long, and we're just honored to have her join us this evening. May is National Foster Care Month, and so tonight we're welcoming adoption advocate Deborah Olivia Farmer and her excellent new book, My Journey to Joshua, about the adoption process. Let's give it up to Chicago's very own. Talking about she was on the red line earlier today. Hey!
What's happening?
Hi, Miss Deborah.
Hey.
How you doing?
How you doing,
Deborah?
I am wonderful. So excited to be with you this evening to talk about Foster Care Awareness Month, and just super, super excited to, spread the good news. And thank you for having me. I'm doing great.
It is a pleasure. So good to see you. If I'm not mistaken, did I read correct that you said you were in Chicago today and you was on the red line train?
Listen, let me just explain something to the people. I am from Chicago. Okay.
We know.
I'm from the wild hundreds, honey. 100 in Michigan, okay?
Wow.
Right next to the Thriller, right next to the 10 tray. I was in these streets. I have no fears of my people. Every time I looked up on a message from Facebook, people were like, girl, get off that red line. Listen, somebody said, don't get on the red, green, blue, no lines. I was on the red line and I'm all good.
All right. Well, we love you so much. But listen, I'm getting ready to get up and come get you. I'm getting ready to say, look, get off at the next stop. I'm like, what? I'm like, Fabulous is on the red line train?
No, yes, I was.
That's a true Chicagoan from the wild hundreds. You understand me?
I'm not brand new, please. I am in these streets.
We love you. We really, really do. Well, I think this is just so beautiful. Just everything about this journey with your wonderful son, Joshua. Please introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, and then let's get into this amazing story. I read just every aspect of the press release. I've researched everything, and I'm just so happy for you in this process.
Thank you. So I am again excited to be with you all this evening. I'm Deborah. I'm from Chicago. My roots are deep in the media industry. I worked for two major television stations in Chicago. WGN Television is where I got my start. And then I moved over to NBC5, where I sort of looked at that role as a real reflection of who I am, bridging the news that I love so much, and then also my joy of giving back to the community. I then launched out after 8 years at NBC5 and started a communications firm. And so, as you mentioned, we do media strategy work for clients, helping to elevate their brands. And the reason I'm on your show today is to talk about my next project, which is raising awareness around adoption, and specifically for me, adoption through the foster care process.
Very good. So I was reading the backstory after having some issues with infertility, really wanting to be a mom. You have always given back to our young people in the community. What made you want to be a foster parent? Let's start with that.
Absolutely. So that's actually where it started for me. I started my journey, I think maybe about the late 90s. It was probably 99 and maybe close to 2000. I was introduced to the organization You Can through a friend of mine, Claude Robinson. I had reached out to him and I decided I wanted to mentor. And so I was introduced to a young lady that I was to mentor, really just serve as a tutor for just 1 year. And that turned into an almost 20 plus year relationship. She was in foster care. So that's how I got introduced to the foster care system. So serving as a mentor to her, tutoring her, and seeing her go through the foster care system. She had been in various foster homes, sort of bounced around. At one point during that time, I had considered actually fostering her. At the advice of my family, I decided not to go in that direction. But I knew that was something I always wanted to do. And again, it started for me close to 20 years ago.
Wow, that is so beautiful. Okay, Renee, I sent you all the info and we were talking about this earlier in our meeting. I'm going to let you talk to Deborah because, I just think as a man, this is so touching to me, but, woman to woman and really taking on the responsibility of someone else's child and loving it like it's your own. Okay, Renee, what do you feel about this?
Well, first of all, Deborah, in just watching you, I see this aura of love.
Yes.
I mean, the love is there. And, I just give you kudos for you utilizing that love for another human being. I have a dear friend who is like my big sister, and she tried to adopt and was unsuccessful. And I guess the question I want to ask you, I am a seasoned woman. What advice would you give women, especially women of color, who I miscarried my daughter. It's been 9 years ago. If I wanted to go through that adoption process, what advice would you give? Because it only is not financial, it's emotional, spiritual, all the facets that you can imagine in going through that process. Because unfortunately, my dear sister, when she tried to adopt, at the very last minute, the birth mother said no.
Yep.
I mean, she did everything right. She, put money up front. She went through, a series of interviews, that you have to go through. At the very last minute, she was denied. And so, what advice would you give, someone like me, if I said, you know what, I wouldn't mind being a foster mother to a child?
Yeah. So first off, I want to just say to you, my prayers and thoughts go to you because, of course, miscarrying a child, and no matter whether it been in your case 9 years ago or just yesterday, that's something that, will forever be with you. And so my thoughts and prayers are with you. As it relates to the advice, and that's actually why I decided to write this book. I had through the process so many people, and not just women. So many people come to me to say, oh my God, I've always wanted to do that. And so, but what they provided to me once I asked the question, why are you not doing it? Many of them had more excuses than someone going to jail. Right. And so for me, my first bit of advice would be to just do it. I don't want to look at this as a cavalier thing to do, like buying a purse. It's not that simple because there is a lot that goes into this process. But my first bit of advice would be to just do it. What I decided to do was, in my case, and these are recommendations I have, is to do your research. If you find that you want to do the foster care process, which is what I did, find ways to research organizations, social service agencies and such, so that you can decide on which one is the best fit for you and then go through the process of getting your license. Another recommendation I have is that once you've done that, you've decided that this is an organization or a social service agency that you want to go through, then form a relationship with the social worker or the licensing rep. I'm all about relationships. It's no different than if you apply for a job, you send in your resume, you want to try to get, a relationship with the HR director, right? Not that that would ensure you getting the job, but at least it allows you a point of contact. When I look at the reason, again, behind doing this book, it was for that very reason. I'm really wanting to empower people, Black women in particular, honestly, because I've just found that we are not living in a place of what you just said you see around me, which is love. I want us to realize what this is. There are only two real emotions, fear and love. And if you're not doing something, it's out of fear, then you're not living in a place and coming from a place of love. And so those were really the marching orders I gave to myself to lead with love. Yes, I wanted to foster a child. Yes, I wanted to have an expansive look at my family through biological children. That did not unfortunately happen for me, but that wasn't the end of the story for me. And so we find that to be the narrative for a lot of Black women is infertility issues, right? So then do you just give up on the idea of being a mother if that's what you really want to do? And if you do that, then you're living in a place of fear. That's not love, right? So my, again, journey really allowed me to see this as a journey to love, right? And so I can really get into more details around that, just coming from a family. I love my grandmother. My grandmother did the best that she could. But what she said to us was, what does love have to do with it? Right? But that was the space that she came from and the time that she lived in. And I say today, I give us all, I want us all to take a different look at this and know that love has everything to do with it.
Amen.
I love it. I really do. You brought tears to my eyes because just again, to see your journey, to know you, and to just see the love that I see in Joshua's face through pictures and the posts that you do. And just, I'm kind of curious to know, with adoption, was it that you wanted a son or a daughter or how do people really make that decision? Because see, if it was me, I'd probably be like, give me all 9 kids. I don't care. Just give me kids.
And so what's interesting about that question, and I'm sorry to cut you off, is to that very point, right? When I initially went through this process, which was years ago to get my foster care license, I went through the process as a single woman. I wanted a girl by hook or crook. I'm like, I want to be a mother. That is who I am at my core. I'm a natural nurturer. I have 6 godchildren. I love pouring into others. I have a host of mentees. So I wanted a girl. But then when I got my foster care license, they kept calling with boys. And so that's how I came to get Joshua. I had to remove me, which was the ego of wanting a girl, and surrender to love, which brought me the love of my life, which was Joshua. And that was really my older brother who advised me, do you want to be a mother, or do you want to be a mother of a girl? Or do you want to be a mother of a boy? I wanted to be a mother. And so to that end, I had to remove me and decide, let me lead with love and know that I am open to love whoever God sends to me. And it happened to be Joshua.
Wow.
I love it. I do. Because Deborah, she's such a diva. She's so prissy. So that's why I always, because I can see her daughter. That's why I said a son. And I'm so excited. But he's so sharp. And Deborah, really, I want you to continue the barbershop post that you do.
Yes.
Because it's so beautiful to hear a Black woman to talk about the barbershop experience. And that's what a lot of people don't get. And coming from a mom taking a son there, it just is really, it's wonderful. So I look forward to your post about the barbershop experience. I do. is really good. So in the writing of this book,
Sure.
a lot of personal things, but how long did it take you to put this together? Because of course, we're talking about from the beginning to the book finally coming out, but I'm sure there were some things you had to leave out.
Yes.
How long did it take you to put the journal or the book together, the memoir?
And that's a very good question. And so that's even another part of this journey for me, which honestly has been therapeutic, but then it has been sort of like me opening up my diary to everyone, right? Because when I initially started the process, it was my journey with Joshua. Because people were wondering, like, how do you go about doing this? And so it really was like, okay, let me provide some tips, help people to get here. But really, I had to do a detour and said, it's my journey to Joshua. What got me here? And what got me here was countless relationships that ended, right? How did that come about? The infertility piece, how did that even come about? I think that's a whole nother conversation women are not having, right? When I was going through fertility treatments, and I'm being vulnerable, exposing myself, going through those treatments. When I was at Northwestern Clinic, there were probably 2 other Black women at the time, and they put their heads down in shame. But here it is, you had women of other, persuasions, Caucasian in particular, walking in with the baby in tow, pregnant, going back for another one, right? Because they knew we had the information, and we either have the information or we just live in a place of shame or not sharing the information.
Wow, just beautiful.
Ms. Deborah, I want to know, how has your relationship strengthened during this pandemic with Joshua?
Immensely. I think that's a whole nother layer, right? So you go from wanting a girl, wanting to be a mom, even to the end of, having a 2-parent situation, then that changing, and now you're a single mom. And when I tell you that God makes no mistakes, like literally finding love through Joshua, like this boy loves me so much. It's so amazing. And even in, yes, we've been in quarantine, the pandemic has been pretty rough because he's a social kid. Art knows we lived right next door to when he was working at WVON, and he would see us. Joshua was the mayor of the building, right? Everyone loves Joshua in his school, loved him in the building we lived in. And so it was a little difficult at first because just you have 2 social butterflies, and now we just have to sit and be with each other, right? But it allowed us to just grow. It allowed me to love him more, him love me more, and me understand really this whole piece about being selfless.
Wow. Boy, this is just, isn't it beautiful, Kay Renee? This is just really.
I mean, as I said, I'm looking at you. I just see this aura of such love, such light, and you've given me hope, and I'm hoping that you've given our viewers hope for those women, especially women of color, who think it's too late. It's never too late.
It's not too late. I mean, listen, if you decide you don't want to go through the adoption process, you can be of a service by fostering. There's so many children. When you look at just in the United States alone, there are over 400,000 children in the foster care system. Right? So if you have capacity, if you have the means, the support and resources, then just foster a child. In Illinois alone, I think there are ranges from 17,000 to kids in foster care, right? So, and especially looking at us coming through, what we just experienced this past year, these kids could use your support, and you can use it too. Imagine you were home alone for a year when you could have had a little Joshua at home with you, loving on you, making the situation all better.
Oh, wow. And she's right. He was the mayor of the building. I would come in every evening, and look, Joshua was busy. Deborah and I was talking. Next thing you know, he over with this group, over with that group. He's right. So, Deborah, how can we get your book? I'm going to put the website up here. In closing, what do you most want to say? And here's the deal. I want to up this, if I could, and continue this conversation. Please keep sending me people that would be great guests for this show, because I know there are just so many young people that could love the love that would be out there for them. And we want our young people to have that type of love and appreciation. Yes.
Yeah. You know, I really want us to just remove the stigma around adoption. You know, outside of advocating, yes, do this, but let's have a different conversation and not look at it. And not to say this is the case for all, but some adoptees have this abandonment complex. But when you really think about this for what this is, you have the giver, who is the bio mom that decided either, you know what, I'm not able to do this. Let me provide a better outcome for my child. Then you have the gift, who is the child, and then the recipient, the receiver is me. It's a trifecta, right? So if we could just look at it differently and not look at it like someone's throwing a child away or you're coming in to save the day, because you also too are being saved in this process. And so that's what I want to, you know, bid to many of you that are on the fence about this, that it is about you providing love, but it's also about you receiving that love too. So you can actually follow us again on all social media platforms at My Journey to Joshua. You can get the book at our website, which is My Journey to Joshua. Come in the month of June, you can actually purchase the book on all major platforms, Amazon, Walmart, Target, and so forth. So I am so grateful for this opportunity, Art. I love everything that you're doing. You know, we've been rocking for a very long time. And so I just appreciate you taking the time to allow us to talk about this important topic around adoption.
It is my pleasure.
It's nice to meet you, Kay.
Oh, it is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Deborah, and I definitely will love to connect.
Thank you.
Deborah, truly a pleasure. You know, my relationship chats turned 26 this year. This marks the 26th year. And I was just thinking the other day when you were selling your wonderful bags many years ago, and Bag Lady was your theme song. So Deborah, you're right. You and I have been through many, many changes. And yes, and just to see where you are now, it just does my heart so good. You are really a blessing, not only to Joshua, but just to mankind. And just want to say thank you so very much for stopping by to hang out with us tonight. Kay Renee, really, this has been beautiful. What do you want to say in closing to Deborah, Kay Renee?
Just continue to love that beautiful son of yours unconditionally, as he has given you so much unconditional love. Your platform about adoption is definitely needed, especially among women, especially women of color. And I just wish you truly the best in everything that you do.
Thank you. And if I can just add this one last piece too, please look out in the month of June. We're actually expanding this because I did foster to adopt, but I'm partnering with my dear friend Tamara Brown, who's actually going through private adoption. So we're going to tackle this conversation from both ends. So Black Adoption Matters is coming in June. Stay tuned.
Amen.
Okay, well, we hope to have Black Adoption Matters on this show. Whatever we can do to help out, we're here to support however we can, because we think that is just really beautiful. What a way to start a holiday weekend. We're coming out of the pandemic, and again, celebrating the fact that May is Foster Care Month, and I just think that is beautiful. Well, Deborah, continued success to you. I hope to run into you and Joshua very soon. Happy birthday, Madam Gemini. Yes, baby, that's her birthday. Yes, happy birthday. And just continue to keep striving for excellence, okay?
I will. Thank you. I love you so much, Art. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the website, please go myjourneytojoshua.com. All the information is there. You can follow Deborah and Joshua's journey. Her social media posts are amazing. Just a Black mom in a barbershop with her son on a Saturday. I live
with all the eye candy. Let's not fail to mention that.
Yeah. I can't wait to see how those posts come out, and I'm sure you go to a great barbershop at that, right? So I can't wait, because I think most of you ladies gonna end up finding love places you wouldn't believe it. And yes, look. A mama that keep that son together definitely gonna meet a man that's keeping himself together. How about that?
Amen.
All right, Deborah, we love you so much. Happy birthday, happy Memorial Day weekend, and I'll see you soon. All right?
Bye-bye.
Give it up, you guys. Deborah Olivia Farmer. We just love her. My Journey to Joshua. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Oh, that was so amazing. Wasn't that good?
Yes. Oh my goodness. As I said, you can see the love that she expresses and exhibits. It's so evident. For those who can't see it, I don't know what to tell
I
you. But
know.
that her story is poignant, it's powerful, and it's definitely needed because she is so
Yes, it
right
is.
to adopt someone in the black community has always been seen like as a stigma. And I'll share something personal. Because I'm an only child, my mom wanted to adopt, and my father said no because he didn't have a natural baby. But before he made his transition, he revealed to me, he said, "Babe, I wish I should have listened to your mom because I never wanted you to be alone, and we should have adopted." So, it's just that stigma that we've had in the black community that why wouldn't you adopt? Because
Hmm.
what a child needs is love and discipline. If you're able to give that love and discipline, they will give it back to you in spades.
Well, I took in a young man who was a troubled young man. He came
You
from an
told me.
environment that was, less than stellar. I took temporary legal custody of him for a while and brought him to my place. And just to see the growth in him, I'll never forget one night we were talking and was getting ready for bed. And I said, well, how many pillows do you want to sleep on? And he said, pillows. He said, oh, I'm lucky if I don't have a pillow. And I said, don't. And I'm like, here's well, he came from a situation and circumstance that, was not the best. And at my house, you're gonna sleep on good pillows, you're gonna eat great food, you're gonna do things. He gave me a chance to be a parent to him. And to this very day, we're still close. I told you recently, he sent me a wonderful text message saying that he was teaching his son about eating calamari and sushi. And he remembered when I first taught him that because he had no idea what any of that was. And so it makes your heart feel good to know that you are able to nurture a young person and help shape their future. So, yes.
Amen. Amen.
All right, very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Thursday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. So glad to be here with you guys on this beautiful Thursday evening. It is Relationship Thursday. And, each and every week, we try to bring you the hottest conversations and topics. And we were just talking on the show last night about the fact that this pandemic has caused an uptick in infidelity. And not that it wasn't prevalent before, but people are doing things now like you wouldn't believe. And so tonight we have two gentlemen that will talk to us about infidelity, the roles of the cheaters, and whose responsibility it is. Because a lot of times when people cheat, it may not be what you think it is. And so it's a lot of components involved in that. So in just a few moments, we're going to bring our guest on and have that conversation tonight. Your alter ego, Raquel. I'm sure she's going to have a lot to say tonight about infidelity because most women cannot forgive men who cheat. They just cannot.
I beg to differ. Most men cannot forgive women who cheat.
Okay. All right. Now we'll see. Now, well, I don't know if I should ask that, but do you think who do you think cheats more, men or women?
I think men cheat more, but women can get away with it very easily. They'll never know until it just like the mic has to drop.
Yeah,
I
because
think
we
men
talked
do
last
cheat
night
more.
about the stories of the number of women who are leaving their husbands for other women. And that's a
Yes.
story that we're going to talk about in June here on the show
Mhm.
that I have had several conversations with people this week about marriages 20, 30 years. And the wife now decides she wants to be with a woman. And so that's something that we'll address in the month of June because that's deep in itself,
You're not
uh,
lying.
right, right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys we had an announcement coming, and the announcement is that the Real Chat Daddy Show, as of the 1st of June, will be on Monday through Wednesday nights from 7 until whenever we get tired. We're having what we call summer hours. And because of the new programming that is being developed for this show and a couple of other shows that I'm working on, we are cutting this show down to 3 days a week, still health and wellness, still entertainment, still your favorite show that you enjoy watching. Don't forget, if you miss any of the shows, you can always go to YouTube and watch the encore shows there. You can always go to Facebook, The Real Chat Daddy Show, and watch those shows at any time. But starting Monday, June 1st, the show will now be on Monday through Wednesday night. As you guys all know, this coming Monday is the Memorial Day holiday, so we won't be here this Monday. We'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, and then the following week we'll start our 3-day week rotation. All right, very good. Hey, Renee, are you ready for our next two guests?
Oh yes, I've been ready since you announced. You told me they were coming on this week. I was like, okay, let's bring it. Buckle up.
Well,
ladies.
we already know the heat and the fire that Terry DeRon brings. Now we
Yes.
already, and he is the one who we are talking about now. He brought it a couple of weeks ago. He said to us, "Listen, I have a co-author of my book that we want to bring on the show. I met this gentleman through social media. I've been reading about him all day. So let me set this up for everybody. Tonight, we're welcoming famed author, widely acclaimed relationship moderator, and the host of the Hot Seat Challenge talk show. He is Dr. Andre Blaylock. And he is also tonight with his co-author and podcaster, Mr. Terry DeRon. We are to discuss the common misconceptions of infidelity and who's to blame in the situation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show, our good friend, Mr. Terry DeRon. And joining us is his co-author, Mr. Andre Blaylock. Yay! What's going on, brothers? Good evening. How are you?
Yes.
What's going on?
Hello,
What's going on?
gentlemen. Hello,
Hey
gentlemen.
guys, good to see you. Forgive the echo this evening. We're having some type of audio issue and we're trying to resolve it, but we're going to get through this interview as best we can. Now, Dr. Phil cup, I remember you from Dr. Phil's show. I couldn't remember where I knew you from, but then now that I saw, look, that cup was your credit card right there. I was like, this brother was on Dr. Phil.
All right.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you here. How you doing tonight, Terry DeRon? You one of our favorites. You hang out with us all the time.
I'm doing good, man. Ready to discuss the book.
Very good. So now, gentlemen, let's talk about this book that you've written. Kay Renee, I sent over the cover to you. And what do you think about it? That's right, doctor. Put that book up there so we can talk about it. The book is Forensics of Cheating, the Mindset of the Unfaithful. And yes, look, a page turner from what I understand. First of all, welcome to the show, doctor. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, and then let's get into this book.
Okay, well, I started writing a blog in like 2009, and it surprised me because it went into like 82, maybe 83 different countries. And I just kind of found out that over the course of time that love has replaced commitment. And a lot of times we really don't know how to communicate effectively. So I just kind of started writing about different techniques, relationship techniques, conversation techniques. And it just kind of took off and it resonated with a lot of people. So I was very happy to meet Terry. And we just decided, we've been going back and forth for about like a year or so. We just decided that we're going to collaborate and try to put forth some good work and put out some information from a perspective that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to cheating.
Very good. And Terry, how did you and the doctor connect and become writing partners? He kind of explained it all to us, but Terry, you've been on your grind and doing the things that you've been doing, and now you've collaborated with another incredible brain to come up with more relationship situation explanations.
Yeah, I mean, we had followed each other for a while, so I would see him in my comments. I would see some of the things he would say to other people, and the way he would take something that I said and give, his doctor spin on it or whatnot. So I always thought that would be a good thing to present to people. I speak in a more brash, down to earth type of way, and when you get the official doctor terminology and explanations, I think it adds a added level of insight to the discussion. And so cheating has always been a hot topic. And so when we got to tossing around ideas, we just, once the title came up, it was like an instant hit.
Mm-hmm. Right. We are having a reverb issue. I don't know where that's coming from because I'm now on headset and mic. We apologize to you guys, but I do want to get into this conversation. Gentlemen, what makes a person a cheater? What makes a person want to cheat? Is it temptation? Is it a lack of not getting what they want from their relationship? We live in a world now where everybody is bootylicious, whether male or female. So what constitutes a cheater?
You want to go first here?
Well, yeah, okay, I'll go first. There are a lot of different things that can lead to it, but I think the underlying cause is I don't think people are meant to be monogamous. So that's a challenge and a struggle within itself. It's something that you have to do, especially in America, if you want to have a family or unit, etc. So that creates a lot of problems for people to begin with. But once a person's in a relationship and they're not getting their needs met, that's when they start to pursue other avenues of getting those needs met outside the relationship. I'll pass that over to you, Dre.
Right. Both men and women cheat for the same reason: is selfishness. Okay. And what Terry just said, as far as monogamy, once upon a time, monogamy used to be one person for life. In the 21st century, is one person at a time. So a lot of people have been monogamous many times in their life. You know. So when it comes to cheating, a lot of times we think that it's sexual, but sometimes people cheat to get back to the person they used to be before they entered into the relationship that they're currently in. Like if I'm with a lady, more than likely she's going to want me to change certain things about myself, and we could change so much that when we look in the mirror, we don't recognize the person we've become. But sometimes we cheat to get back to the person we used to love before the relationship. So there's a lot of
True.
different reasons that people cheat. There's no universally accepted reason.
Okay, Renee, I see you have a look on your face, and whenever you have that look, that means something is brewing. What do you think of what both gentlemen have said?
There's some truth to that. I think, though, from a female perspective, um, women cheat because they're not getting that emotional needs that they're met, not just sexual. Because I think when women cheat, it's emotional before you even get to the sex.
I
Um,
agree.
and it's also where sometimes men or in relationships, men take the woman for granted. And that can go both ways. But I mean, I'm only speaking for me as a woman, and talking with girlfriends. That's when the when the thing starts when a man is taking a woman for granted, and when that happens, and you're not getting your needs met, all the needs, sexual, financial, emotional, all that. When another person comes along to appreciate a woman for who she is, that's when the door will start to open. Maybe not in a good way, but it does start to open. But there's some
True.
truth to what both of you guys are saying.
There are a lot of guys that prey on women. It's easy to spot a woman that's unhappy. Especially from a romantic sense. If she's a coworker, somebody that you see on a regular basis or whatnot. So a lot of guys can prey on that vulnerability, and just the fact that most women want love, they want to be in a committed relationship, so they can present them with that option, make them feel good, and take advantage of that honeymoon phase of the dating where people make a lot of emotional choices.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well this is kind of funny. Statistically speaking, though, women in their 20s, married women in their 20s, out cheat their husbands. Now, to go back to what you were just saying, a lot of times traditionally we're thinking that a woman cheats because there's something she's not getting at home as far as like attention, affection, and stuff, and that's true. But when I was doing my research for this book, I attended a lot of swinging parties and I talked to a lot of swingers, and I asked those women, "Why are you here?" And then they weren't here, or they weren't there because they wanted to feel loved or desired. They were there for the same reasons that the men were: great sex. We got to think that sometimes it's like, okay, well, if you're thinking about it from a romantic perspective, that's fine. But sometimes people just want to get it off, and your partner might not be freaky enough for you. You can't have that conversation. So people cheat for the same reasons: great sex. You're not going to
Yeah.
cheat somebody that's sex is horrible.
And the whole aura that cheating creates makes it more intense. That's why so many people catch feelings. I recently put up a post about what was more exciting, having sex in a place that you're not supposed to be having sex, or having sex with somebody you're not supposed to be having sex with. And choice B was the overwhelming favorite. Sneaky links are really lit, you know what I mean? And it can create an addictive emotion that you can't get out of being faithful or being in a committed relationship.
Yep.
But don't you both think it's interesting, Dr. Blaylock, that you mentioned about younger women? What have you done a study or have you done research about women of a certain season, uh, of those who may cheat? What are your thoughts, or what is your data on that?
I have. When it comes to cheating, people cheat for different reasons. It's like
Right.
older or younger. There's no universally accepted definition of cheating. Once upon a time, if I stuck my penis into another woman that wasn't my wife, that was cheating. But now you can cheat because if I'm liking somebody's pictures on Facebook, that somebody doesn't like, or if I'm a part of this website that my partner doesn't know, if that's a form of cheating. So I mean, it's all over the place now, right? So when it comes to older women, sometimes it's like, no, people getting their freak on. It's like it used to be like a character issue. But if you're not happy now, we're so good at next. We're so good at swiping right now. It's like if you're not meeting my needs, I'll just replace you and find you. But a lot of people think that if I really loved you, I would not cheat. That's not true. You can
That's a
love
myth.
somebody and still cheat because the 80-20% rules exist. Your partner's only going to be able to give you 80% of what you want to desire. 20% is up to you. I ain't saying it's right, but there's no age limit to cheat. I've talked to people in their 70s who still cheat.
No, you are absolutely right. I remember, and I'm probably gonna age myself here, but I remember when you would call somebody a nymphomaniac. When was the last time you heard the term nymphomaniac? If that's the case, every damn body's a nympho now. But back in the day, she a nympho. She a nympho, man. Everybody trying to get. But nowadays, you're right. I mean, Andre, I agree with you. Everybody now wants sex. Everybody wants to be loved and desired. But I think cheating has just become such a commonplace in our day and age.
Right.
And that's
the
the
last
problem.
thing, to answer her question too, most of the time, men, when it comes to cheating, we're going to brag about it. We're going to boast. Most women are going to minimize. They're going to hide. They're not going to sit up there and say they have sex with a lot of men. They're not, because socially it's not accepted. It's not accepted. But women like sex as much as men do. Y'all just got to hide it because you don't want to be called that bad name.
I don't think it's not hiding it, Andre. I think it's, we do it very sagaciously. We can be very elusive. You will never know until it happens. So
I got some pushback on that. Women take credit for that, but a lot of women, the reason that they get away with cheating is because side dudes don't behave the way that side chicks behave.
Right.
Like when I was a side dude for women, I was helping her come up with alibis and excuses and fix problems because I'm gonna get the sex and I don't want you to break up with your boyfriend and come to me thinking I'm gonna replace your man.
Right.
Wait,
So
let
women,
me just say this. wait, Terry. Let me just say this. I applaud you for being honest and saying you were a side dude, because a lot of men won't admit that, and a lot of women not gonna admit that they were
Oh,
side chicks.
nah, it's not nothing to be embarrassed about if you the
That's
one
what
she's
I,
choosing, buying outfits for,
and I used to
being
be
a
a
side dude.
serial cheater, so
Wait, what was that,
Wait,
doctor?
you used
What
to
was
be a
that?
serial cheater?
serial cheater, man. It's like, yeah, but you gotta look. When it comes to cheating, we always concentrate on if he or she cheats. It's not necessarily if a person cheats. It's like what type of cheater are you dealing with? There's two types. There's the narcissistic cheater and there's the compunction cheater. The narcissistic cheater does not have any remorse about what they do. That's the once a cheater, always a cheater. Okay? The compunction cheater is that dude that he was faithful for like 20, 30 years, never cheated. He did it one time. When he did it, he's going to admit it. He's going to be very sorry. He's going to submit to like counseling or whatever because he knows that he hurts his partner. He never wants to put her through that again. So the natural reaction of most people who get cheated on is I'm gonna just leave. Well, 31% of people who get cheated on build a stronger relationship. It depends on what type of cheater you're dealing with.
Now, let me say this. I understand that 100%, and I think that must be a man code thing. And, Doctor, I'm glad you explained the two variations, but I'm going to tell you this now. Sister girl sitting in this box over here next to me, women are not going to, any sister girl like sister girl sitting in this box over here, they ain't going to ride with that. You a cheater. You ain't no good. You're low down, but I know there's a variety of cheaters. So, Kay Renee, am I right about that?
Well, here's the thing. I think there has to be communication. And that's what if you're communicating, whether it's your wife, husband, side chick, side dude, if you're allowing that, then that's on you. But to your point, doctor, there are men and there are women who have cheated once. But I said this in the beginning. A man will not forgive a woman who has cheated on him, whether it's once or many times. Women will forgive, some have forgotten and walked away. But more than likely, men will not forgive a woman who has cheated.
That's largely because of the value men and women place on sex. When we talk about sex, women always have time periods. They make men wait. You never hear men talking about that. You never hear men say, man, she got to wait this amount of time before I'll have sex with her. Because men have sex to have for the pleasure of it. They're not trying to leverage it into something extra. They're not hoping it releads to love or any of that. So when you talk about a woman cheating, we see how much value women place on sex. And so in order for a woman that's supposedly in a relationship or in love to cheat, there has to be some type of emotional connection there. And all the dudes with side dude experience can pretty much vouch for it. Women say that they cool or it's just sex at first, but then they start comparing you to their man. They start getting emotionally connected. Men are not really like that. Men can just enjoy the sex and just hope to enjoy it as many times as they can without no intention of ever leaving a girl or building a connection with the other woman.
Right. And the flip side underscore your point, to those guys who are 100% into their women and they never thought about cheating, the reason it's harder for most men to forgive the woman is because of the value that some men will place on sex. Like, okay, she is not sleeping with everybody. She decided to sleep with me, so they put a value on that. So if Terry is able to get my girl's nookie, he's coming to my kingdom and he's just completely destroyed me. He made me useless because it's like everything I built and thought about, he's replaced me. There's no way around that. It's like I feel so useless that you let him into my kingdom. He sat on my throne, he's drinking out of my cup, he's doing all this stuff. I don't want you anymore. I need another kingdom. You know what I mean? So you're right. I mean, because it's about winning and losing. If I have a woman, if Terry is able to have sex with my woman, I lost. Men are more about winning and losing. It's not necessarily the emotional connection. It's about I lost. This dude destroyed me.
And that's confirmed you made a bad choice on the woman you chose.
Yeah. Well, you shut up. I didn't know you were that smooth, so I shouldn't have brought her around you. That's all it is.
But now, gentlemen, even after maybe she becomes the mother of your child or your children, maybe because she's been there for a number of years and things maybe have changed up, does that still make that a bad choice that the guy made when it comes to a woman? Or I have to play both sides of this as the host of this
Nah,
show,
nah. I was just being fun. I don't think cheating one time should be a completely reflective of a person's character because, like we explore in the book, there are layers to it. There's a thought process that a person that's unhappy goes through that leads to that. Because most people will try to resolve the issue that they're having before it gets to that point. And as they're going through the process, they do have that guilt. They are deleting text. They are having conversations that they know are inappropriate. So there's a lot of internal thinking that goes from the unhappiness to the actual point of them actual cheating. And a lot of people never really address that because they say stuff like once a cheater always a cheater, or you just cheated just because, and they don't really put thought into the motives behind the decision making.
And clinically speaking, most of the time, the people who can rebound after infidelity are people who have very high emotional intelligence. I tell women on my page all the time, most men do not emotionally mature until the age of 43.
Speak on that. Say it again.
You really
Yeah.
don't,
Say
because
it
you be dealing with the men
again.
in their 20s and 30s, like I'm dating a grown baby. It's like we don't get it until about the age of 43. But what
I
happens
believe
when
it.
you're 43, 44, 45? Now, if you look at that as like middle age, now these men in their 40s looking at the younger women because we're trying to recapture our youth. But for the most part, it's like when you get emotionally mature, you don't want to deal with a woman in her 40s that's made bad dating decisions most of her life and wants you to jump through these flaming hoops. It's like, no, you just made bad decisions. It's easier sometimes to date people who haven't gone through all of that stuff. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
You know
definitely what
what?
I'd be doing if I was single at this age.
Well, and I say the same thing as well too, because just most people my age, or as you guys say, I'll be 56 this year. There's so many problems and issues where a lot of my friends and colleagues are marrying people younger. They're marrying well-established younger people, but they're marrying younger people. And at first, I couldn't get it, and then I sat back and I said, "Oh, the baggage is minimum. The sex is probably still amazing, and they appreciate the older, mature guy who's trying to do some things." So I don't know, Kay Renee, you got a look on your face like, you okay over there?
Well, I mean, I'm in the minority here because I'm the only female on this panel. Unlike you, I'll be 54 in September, and I've never, and I have no intentions. I'm not being a cougar. I've always dated older men. Seriously, I mean, I've always dated older men, and I still will date older men because younger men with me we don't mix. It's like oil and water. We don't mix. Um, I do agree with Doctor said. For me to date and to be with someone now, communication has to be key, and I'm open to a lot of things. So if he is not being open with me sexually and then I find out he cheats, I'm not going to, it's not going to be like, oh, it's okay. I'm like, you know what? You do you and I do me. It's going to be a different, we'll be going this way. Um, it's just, I've experienced that and it's not cool because here's the thing. When a man in a relationship, especially marriage, if a man cheats and a woman finds out, she'll be very quiet. And if she cheats and gets caught, all hell breaks loose. And then you have a bigger problem. And unfortunately, that baggage, as both of you referred to, it goes in layers. And that's when I think, honestly, when that happens on both sides, both of y'all need to take a time out. If you need to break up, break up, but take time for yourself so when you get into another relationship, you know what you want and you're very clear about what you want. And if you don't attract that type of behavior, because both of you are right. It's about behavior and mindsets. So, for two of y'all, if y'all want to date someone young, go for it. Me, I like my silver hairs. I love them.
Yeah, I think for most guys, it's natural for guys to, like you said, you date like older men. Most guys naturally date younger women. It's rare to find guys that are with a woman that's older than them. So especially as far as finances go, men hit their prime in the late 30s to early 40s, so their earning capacity is higher. And on the dating scene, that's currency. That impacts how you look, your grooming, what you driving, where you live, all the things that actually matter as far as entertaining and attracting women. So you'll be able, a single man that's making six figures or close to it in his 40s will be able to attract a bad woman in her 30s that's willing to date him.
And it's also about the status symbol. Like men, a lot of times we are concerned by what other men say. So an older man with a younger woman, his voice is like, "How did you fool that? Your talk game is the That's like a younger
Ron
woman,
Isley. Look at Ron
Right.
Isley.
a woman
Right.
At
who's
80
supposed
years
to be
young, yeah.
established and all this stuff. A young man is going to be like, "Bro, your talk game is cool. How do you get that older chick?" Because an older woman to a young man provides access. It's not just about sex. It's about her
Of course
network
it's
that
not.
she's had. It's about
I
her
agree with
network.
that.
You know what I mean?
That's
So it's
why
kind
we.
of like
That's
if he can pull an older woman, that's part of his status symbol. You know,
and that's why I don't. And that's why I don't deal with them. But go ahead, keep talking.
I mean, I look at somebody like Gladys Knight married the drummer, and he's a much younger guy. That guy married Gladys Knight. That's the
He
bottom
married
line.
up.
No other questions need
He
to be
married
asked.
up.
None of that.
Right.
Right. And for the most
He
part,
married up.
yes, most situations I know where it's a younger guy that married an older woman, you better believe she had plenty of money. Definitely is a boss lady, and he knows what his job is with that woman. He knows what it is. So I don't know.
but Terry, let me ask you this, Terry. In your research, when we're doing the book, when it comes to cheating, I just came to the conclusion it's about human nature. A lot of times, people we're so consumed with love now. Love has replaced commitment these days. Okay, so it's kind of like if you love me, you would or would not do this list or whatever. And when it comes to cheating, a lot of times I found out that love really it doesn't have that much to do with it. Does it factor in? Yes, but what it is like this is missing in my life. So I want it now. We're not thinking about the repercussions. If I do this, I might lose you. No, this looks good to me right now, and I'm going to
True.
deal with the consequences later on. I think that as human beings, we should be more forgiving because if we are honest with ourselves, many people who've been cheated on. Maybe we've cheated across the board. It's something that people are most likely to do. But when you ask the question why, a lot of couples that I've talked to and worked with, they're not even friends, but they're married. They're not friends. With your friend, you can talk about anything without the fear of rejection, without the fear of being ostracized, being blamed, criticized. You can't do that with some of these boyfriends and girlfriends you got.
Well, a lot of people these days are real insecure, man. They're afraid of being cheated on or their partner finding somebody that they gonna like more than them. And then with social media, seeing your ex glow up with their next person is a real thing. You know what I mean? Like that. That's something that a lot of people really are paranoid about. And so it impacts people's dating decision. It increases their insecurity when they are with somebody that they are afraid to lose or they actually value. So it creates a negative vibe that a lot of people can't overcome.
So, gentlemen, the entire month of June on this show, we are doing different scenarios or situations. This week alone, I've had several people call and talk to me about the fact that a lot of these wives are leaving their husbands for other women now. And so we're going to do a conversation on that. I'm going to challenge both of you gentlemen, because you've been outstanding tonight. If you know of other situations or circumstances that have become, big due to this pandemic, please let me know, because you guys really are great to talk to, but I also am looking for people in these different situations. We were also talking about a woman, and she's not in the United States, but she actually has 7 husbands. And was saying, yeah, isn't that something? 7 husbands. So the entire month of June, we're going to talk about different dynamics and situations, because, you know, I look at somebody like Niecy Nash. You were married to a minister, married to men several times, and then the woman who sang at your wedding is now your life partner, like your mate. That's a lot to deal with, you know. So we're going to talk about these type of situations during the month of June. So I welcome you both back if you have other situations, you know, that people need to know about.
That's what's up, man. You know how to reach me, man. I'm always down.
Yes, absolutely. So tell everybody how they can get your book and where they can find it. And you both did an outstanding job tonight.
Thank you. Terry, I'll take like this. If you want to find the book, it's called Forensics of Cheating, Mindsets of the Unfaithful. You can find this on Amazon. You can type in Dr. Andre Blaylock or Terry DeRon. Either way, it's going to come up. And if you want to find more about me, you can go to andreblaylock.com. And I spell my last name Blaylock. And there you can find a lot of blog posts that I do. You can book me for different events, workshops, and seminars.
Dr. Blaylock, I must say this. My great-grandmother, my maternal great-grandmother was a Blaylock. And it's spelled the same way as yours. So look, come to find out, we might be cousins. Right. That is right. Right. And great. And here's the deal. She was fair complected. So that's right. So that's why I'm like, wait a minute, this might be my cousin.
Right.
Yeah, you the darker one. But she could have definitely, you look just, I mean, same skin complexion, everything. Terry DeRon, tell everybody all of your business and how they can connect with you.
Y'all can find all my content at terryderon.com. Majority of my comment is on Instagram at Terry DeRon. And if you hit the link in my bio, you can access all my books, my dating guide, and my podcast.
Very good. K. Renee, of course, because you are the madame of this conversation, and I always let you say good night to our guests. I'm sure you and I'll have a wonderful post-show conversation. The ladies said you stuck your ground, and you know, the ladies had your back tonight, but go right ahead and say what you need to say to our guests tonight.
Well, first, Terry and Dr. Andre, you guys actually could be brothers, because you look, I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. So there's a reason why both of you came together to do your book. Thank you so much for the different side of cheating. I wish the two of you definitely the best, and I'd like to continue this conversation because it was definitely intriguing. And you know, as I'm glad the ladies of the viewing audience had my back, because my facial expression said both volumes.
Yeah. Yes, thank God a couple of times.
I know. Right. Look, bro, when you've been co-hosting with somebody for a year, you have to learn a woman's every signal. And so stank eye is my number one thing that I love, because I know how to take this show in the right direction. See, if she didn't give stank eye, I'd still be sitting there talking about, let's talk more about cheaters. Let's talk about this right. So we appreciate her for that good old stank eye and that great arched eyebrow, because look, them eyebrows and that stank eye helps me every time, every show. It helps me. Yes. Well, gentlemen, continued success. The audience really did love you guys tonight. Just saying how great the conversation was, and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, please get the book. Check it out. People are cheating. It's now more than ever. This pandemic has brought cheating to the forefront. Divorce attorneys are really busy right now because people want out of their relationship. Who knew a pandemic would change the entire dynamic of how our relationships are handled. Of course, on this show, we want everybody to be of love, happiness, and good energy. But sometimes when it don't work anymore, you need to know why it did not work and how do you gracefully move on. And these two gentlemen tonight has helped us to understand that better. You know, we keep some of the realest guests ever on this show. Doctor, put the book up one more time so everybody can see it. There you guys go. Yep.
I love the illustration.
Forensic cheating. Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you so much. Have a great night. I look forward to having you both back. And I'm gonna reach out to both of you because I know you both know some weird situations that meant Terry, I watch you all the time. And y'all talk about some stuff. How to turn a hoe into a housewife, and you know, and I know so many hoes that became housewives, so I know it's possible. So we'll talk about that. And Doctor, I look forward to connecting with you and having you back on as well too.
Absolutely, I would love it. It'd be my pleasure. Thanks for having us.
All right. Have
Later,
a
y'all.
wonderful holiday weekend. God bless and continued success. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. All right, give it up for them, ladies and gentlemen. Two amazing guests. They did an outstanding job.
Yes, they did.
We apologize, you guys, about the audio situation. We're working on upgrading the system yet again, and we'll figure it out. But we do apologize. A hoe to a housewife, Lord Jesus. Yeah, it is. It happens. It really does. It just, I know plenty of them, you know, and right. So, all right, Kay Renee, what do you think about what the guy said? I had to wait to see what you was gonna say.
You know, there was some truth to a lot what both Dr. Andre and Terry were saying. As I said, from a female's perspective, when women do cheat, it's actually almost at the last straw, right? They've tried everything and anything, and then when the male partner, does not do right, and in some instances, the female partner will tell the male partner, "Look, God dog it, if
Right.
you don't do right, this is what I'm going to do." And the partner still doesn't believe until snit happens. Then they get upset. So it's I think when women cheat, honestly, it's not just the sex, and then nothing wrong with that because there could be some good sex with some side dudes, but it's more emotional when that person is not giving a woman the emotional, spiritual, financial, professional needs. You know, sometimes cheating is the last resort. It shouldn't be that way, but it starts with the emotion first. And Terry had a good point. He's like, some men, unfortunately, they on the prey for women who are vulnerable, and they act upon it, and that's not good either.
No, it's not. We live in a world now where, you know, I feel so bad for people who are single and want a loving, healthy relationship. But really, to me, the only people out here looking for anything is people who already have something going on and they want some extracurricular activity. And that's where the problem is coming in, you know?
Exactly. And I think the communication needs to happen as well. Because if you're gonna have a side chick or a side dude, you better be communicating on what lane you gonna be in and where to stay in that lane.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. All right. Well, for those of you all that are in the Chicagoland area, guess what? Sunday, June 13th, I am hosting the ultimate mingling gathering. My original Real Deal relationship chat is celebrating 26 years of bringing people together. I can actually boast about 11 marriages as a result of people meeting at my relationship chat. The chat is open to all persons, black, white, gay, straight, no matter who you are. You'll figure out what's there for you and who's there for you. But it's going to be a wonderful event. It is Sunday, June 13th. We're having it at Teriyaki Madness, which is a wonderful teriyaki fresh stir fry place. It's excellent. Located in the South Loop. Tickets are $26 per person. That includes an entree, a beverage, entertainment, the discussion. The venue is a very big venue, and we're going to follow all COVID restrictions and policies and procedures, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to have a good time. It's from 4 to 8 p.m. We're inviting everybody to come out and have a good time. Here is the URL code. I'm going to put it up on the screen. All you have to do is scan that URL code right there. If you scan that URL code, it will take you right to the tickets, and it'll allow you to get your ticket and be able to come hang out with us. You'll be charged $26 in honor of the 26th anniversary of the chat. So all you have to do is scan that URL code that's right there, and it will give you all the information. Okay, and you'll receive the email that'll have all the details closer to the event on parking, everything. We're lots in the area, all of that. But come out and join us and have a good time. Kay Renee will be in the house, and we got a lot going on, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yes, I'm excited. I was so glad when you scanned that UC code. I did my camera and boom.
You sure did.
Got my ticket.
You did.
Sure
yes.
Did.
Yes,
so
you
I'm
did.
Excited. I'm excited.
Okay, our good friend Lynn Klein. Hey, Lynn, she said men think sex fixes everything. Women enjoy sex more when everything else is good. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I believe that. I really do. Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, if you stressed out about the bills and how you're going to put food on the table and all of that, I think that's crazy as well, too. And then we have a new viewer tonight. Oh, hey, Angelique, we appreciate you so much. She said, I need a boo. Let me hurry up and get my plane. Come on, Angelique. Come to Chicago and hang out with us. Yes, we would love to have you come hang out with us, Angelique. That would be so great. Come on and hang out with us on that beautiful Sunday. And we're going to have a good time talking about relationships and love and all that great stuff. All right, Kay Renee, what's coming up tomorrow night on K&K?
K&K, we're talking about current week's events. Of course, the anniversary of George Floyd. We're going to talk about the significance of Memorial Day, and we're going to be talking about the Tulsa Massacre of 1921. Because between May 29th and the 31st of May, all hell broke loose in Tulsa. Because Tulsa in the 1920s was known as the Black Wall Street. And unfortunately, white folks did not like the fact that we as African Americans were having our own banks, shops, everything, and they burnt it to the ground. In fact, Miss Viola Fletcher testified upon Congress last week, 107 years young, because she remembers it like it was yesterday. Her brother, who helped accompany her, was 100. She talked to Congress, said, "Look, this needs to be recognized." In fact, President Biden will be at Tulsa to commemorate, unfortunately, the 100th anniversary of the massacre. So we're going to be talking about that as well.
Very good.
For those, and just so you guys know, we are now on YouTube. So feel free to come on tomorrow night via Facebook Live at 9 p.m. sharp, Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, and 7 p.m. Pacific at Candid Conversations with K&K. You can get us on Facebook Live and now on YouTube. Yay!
Yay!
My partner, Miss Kim Coleman, a Sister Girl Speaks.
Very, very good. All right. So just a reminder, you guys, the 26th anniversary of the Real Deal Relationship Chat is Sunday, June 13th, 4 to 8 p.m. Come out, have a great time. I guarantee you guys it's going to be a reunion. It's going to be a lot of just wonderful people, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We just want to make it do what it needs to do. So make sure you grab your tickets right away and come hang out with us and have some fun. There's the information right there on the screen. And then I'm going to give you guys the URL code, and all you have to do is scan that bad boy right there. There you go. Put your phone or tablet right up to the screen, however you are viewing us. Oh, let me get back in the screen. There I am. And there you go. There you go.
There I am.
All right. Okay, Renee, let's talk a little bit about the seminar, the 12th.
Yes. For those in Chicago, if you need a weekend, that weekend, June the 12th, is Arts Masterclass on Insider Secrets to Successfully Booking Your Brand. I was one of his first students. of his masterclass in April. And he talks about, if you're an author, if you want to just build your brand on whatever it is that you're passionate about, and you just need some tweaking, I encourage you to invest in yourself. Take his webinar. It's only 90 minutes, roughly. It's $125. That's important. So you got to register to booking at therealchatdaddy.com. And he's going to teach you how to present yourself in such a professional manner. Lighting, verbiage, how you talk to your audience via the camera. It's important. And not only that, you're going to learn those tips. He is also going to give you a 30-minute consultation on how to do such a promo. And it's very informative and it's definitely beneficial. So go on down to register at booking at therealchatdaddy.com for Saturday, June the 12th, the insider secrets to successfully booking your brand.
Yay! You the spokesperson with all the finesse and flair. Look, I'm sitting back like, oh, is that me she talking about? Oh my goodness, thank you. Oh my God, thank you.
You so well, Chat Daddy.
Thank you. I appreciate you, my darling. I do. Well, as you guys all know, we are a health and wellness show more than anything. And even though the world is opening back up, Tokyo is experiencing at least 5,000 new cases of COVID a day. And they're still talking about having the Olympics. We do not want the United States to have an uptick in cases. And I know the world is opening back up, but we do want to encourage you guys to please wear your mask when you're out in public if you could. My mask tonight says "Be You." We just ask that you put it on. I know a lot of places nowadays, if you've been fully vaccinated, you don't have to have them on. Everywhere that I've been going, for the most part, people have still been wearing their masks, and I'm very happy that people are following those rules. We do remind you to continue to keep sanitizing. I am now addicted to this. I am. We are sexy sanitizers on this show. And look how we do that. Oh, yes. Look. Oh, sexy. See, somebody gonna cheat. Because they love our hands. Look. Yeah, look. They gonna cheat. Oh, they turned on watching our hands. Right. All right. So we just want to remind you guys that health and wellness is key. All right. Health and wellness is key. All right, Kay Renee, I think it's about time for you to give that nugget. Then we're going to get some feedback from our audience. And Angelique, we love you so much. She says she's logging off now. Thank you. We appreciate you. Come back. We'll be back Tuesday after the holiday. We love you. Thank you. Go right ahead and give your nugget.
Before I give my nugget, I forgot to mention this story, Art. The mass shooting in San Jose.
Yes.
That happened yesterday. And given the fact this is Memorial Day weekend, I implore our viewers, especially in the Chicago area, mind your business. Be careful. These mass shootings they're real, ladies and gents. 9 men died in San Jose.
San Jose.
And the shooter, unfortunately, he killed himself. Before he did this, though, he burnt his house down. So as we're approaching Memorial Day weekend, it's going to be nice. It's not going to be hot, but it'll be decent here as far as weather. Please, everyone, have a good time, but let's be safe. Let's have common sense. We do not need to have any more. We have enough shootings as it is living in an urban city like Chicago. Please be safe.
I could not agree more. You've done a great job saying that. All right, darling. What is our last nugget for the month of May? Can you believe we've gotten to another month?
I know. And this nugget is so real. I posted it this morning. And baby, folks be like, whoa, it is. Remember, some people aren't loyal to you. They are loyal to their need of you. Once their needs change, so does their loyalty. And today is Tell It Like It Is Thursday. Hashtag, boop, drop that mic. Hashtag enough said.
Amen. Well, amen. You've done a good job. Look, that reminds me of my pedicure post today.
Okay.
For more information about this young lady, please go to karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. Again, that's karensnuggetsofknowledge.com. And you can find out all you need to know about her. And we appreciate her for being here. So I look, I'm gonna use you the right way. I'm gonna keep trying to do what I need to, right. Please let me know. Right. Don't be checking me in your posts. Right. So I love you. I do. And I appreciate you for all your support and all of that. I just do. You've been incredible. All right. Don't forget, on this show, we are wearing our mask until Juvember of 2025. We know Juvember is not on your calendar. We're talking to President Biden now to have Juvember added to calendars in 2025, because then that's about when we're going to come out of these masks. Be you, be fabulous, be all of that. Let's get our feedback and comments from our audience before we skedoodle tonight. All right, what do we have? We have, talking about clutch my pearls. Absolutely, yes. I love that. That is too cute. Candace, thank you so much. She says, have a great weekend, everybody. We love you, Candace. We do. Have a great weekend. Lynn, we appreciate you. We love you, Lynn. Thank you for being. That's right. Amen. You got a lot of good feedback for your nugget that you shared tonight. Thank you, Anthony.
Happy birthday again, sweetie.
Yes, Eldon, thank you so much. And hey, Mamie, our friend Mamie Rogers.
Hey, Mamie, thank you.
Yes. Absolutely. That was great. Let me see what else we have here. I think we got some more good nights. Oh, thank you, Candace. We love you as well, too. We really do. We really, really do. All right, K. Renee, anybody else we need to say anything to?
Not Watika, Wamelda.
There's Wamelda. There's Wamelda right there.
Thank you for always supporting us.
Yes, we appreciate you guys so very much. Well, on behalf of K. Renee and yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, it's been another amazing week. We've gotten through the month of May 2021. It is the holiday weekend. We want to remind you guys to please be safe. Do all the right things. Love your family. Laura Powell. Hey, Laura Powell Parrott, my good friend. She's on our other page. Randy Roberts. Hey, Randy, it's time for me to come to your house for barbecue. And let me see, who else do we have tonight? Jay, we appreciate you. Mario, thank you so much for joining us. And it's going to be good. All right. Well, Kay Renee, have a wonderful weekend. We have to have our post show in just a second. Yes. Good night, you guys. God bless. Be safe. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. We'll see you guys on Tuesday, June 1st at 7 p.m. All right. We're out. Bye. God bless. Love you all. See you later. Happy holiday.
Bye.
Good evening, ladies.